finally, oh my god, yes. This took so long. Literally, it's working now. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Building a PC is not for the weak. What's going on, guys? It's QG here. Welcome to part 3 of the PC building series. And as you guys saw in the intro, I was having the hardest time getting the computer, the CPU, and the motherboard to post. So essentially, I took the motherboard out because I wanted to check and make sure the main 4 components, the power supply, the MOBO, the CPU, and the RAM actually would post and work before I actually put together the whole entire thing, because it just doesn't make sense to put together the whole PC and then you have to take everything apart because one thing doesn't work. So I was having an issue where the CPU and the DRAM light was on. Guys, when I tell you I was trying everything, I was trying literally everything I could think of. I reseated it a million times. I was trying to isolate certain components and just make sure it wasn't anything going on. I tried to reseat the actual CPU itself. And for some reason, nothing was working. And I was stressed. Like I was getting to the point to where I had like a return order started almost for both Newegg and Amazon. I was like, bro, like I spent hours trying to see what I could do, like watching YouTube videos, but it wasn't until I came across this Reddit post. I'm gonna put the guy's name up. I can't think about him right now, but this man was a godsend. Whole time turns out I did not have the RAM all the way pushed down into the motherboard. Crazy. When I first seated the RAM, you hear like that initial slot, like, it goes down into the slot and you hear that like slot sound kind of like, slots in and you're like, okay, yeah, this must be good. But I didn't realize that you had to push it all the way down to the point where it actually slotted by itself, like the little clamps on the side. I thought that you had to actually clamp those yourself, but apparently you actually have to. So essentially, I had to slot it all the way down to the point to where it literally clamps by itself. And my issue is I just didn't have it pressed down all the way, and I was clamping it myself, but it actually has to clamp itself. So once I did that, it worked perfectly, and I was just like, yes. At some point, I literally thought that I had fried my motherboard and everything. Like, I was stressed. Like, y'all, I was stressed. Where I was like, oh my god, man, I really hope I don't have to, like, return stuff, send stuff back. This is my first PC that I'm building, so I didn't have any spare parts to, like, really test out which actual thing it was. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, the CPU light is on, but the CPU was perfect. None of the pins were messed up. It was like slotted the way it needed to be. And I knew it couldn't have been the CPU because everything is brand new, right? So I knew it had to be in like either a compatibility issue or something simple like that. So I'm just like, okay, well, I really just focused in on the RAM. And I was like, what is going on with this RAM? Because the RAM light was on too, which was causing the CPU light to turn on. So yeah, I'm glad that it was just something simple and easy like that because I was stressed. But anyways, guys, pretty much for this video, we're going to be actually installing the new fans into the actual case, and I might see if I can put the motherboard back in there in this video too. But yeah, we can actually finally start building the PC now, so I'm excited, and yeah, that's what we're about to do. So let's get it. So now what we're about to do, actually, in this video, I will be installing the actual fans. So basically, the original fans that came with this case, they're cool, but I wanted something of like a different look. The original fans are also just regular RGB fans, so I went on ahead and ordered some ARGB fans, and I actually ordered these from AliExpress. They actually came pretty quickly and didn't really cost that much. They only costed maybe about 20 bucks. I got 4 different fans actually. So you can see they actually came, 3 of them is in this box, and then the other one they just kind of like wrapped up here. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and actually install these into the case, and then essentially we'll have the new fan set up, and that will allow us to actually be able to control the fans once the build is actually done. So basically I'm just starting with the actual rear fan first,
And we're just gonna go ahead and unscrew everything in the back.
It's actually screwed in like through the back like that. So let's see if we can unscrew this. This last one should make the fan fall, so let's hold it at the bottom. All right, so we got that fan. And as you can see, this one is actually like wired through the back. So we'll have to pull the cable from like the other side.
And the way that they actually have all these fans connected, these fans are connected all together. I don't know why I can never remember the cable, but it's like those old like RGB cables. The way that they kind of work is like you can kind of like connect them all together in a line right here. So they have these all connected through like the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually disconnect all these and then take all the fans out.
So that's the fan right here. We're going to move this one, just sit it, I guess we'll just sit it on top of the power supply, I don't know. All right.
So now I'm basically just taking out the 3 fans on the front. Kind of can't see it as good, but they basically just unscrew from the front like little panel part, and you can kind of just take those out. I was kind of worried at first because I thought that they were kind of just literally like built in the case to where you can't actually like take them out of the case and replace them, but thankfully I was wrong, and you actually can. So I'll just be taking these 3 out.
Squeeze this out here some kind of way. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. So we are able to get those out. That's good.
So I had to stand up the case actually to go ahead and get the second fan out. So we got the second fan out.
So it is out. So that's the second fan. Let's go ahead and turn it back this way. I'll just unscrew these. I'm just glad that I am able to take these out, because for a second it was looking like I wasn't going to be able to. I was worried there for a second. Like, no, I bought these fans for nothing. That's okay though. Cool. So this one is done. Okay. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and see if we can do those down in there. That's gonna be kind of hard. But let's see if I can do it though. I should be able to do it. Yeah, I got this.
Now this other fan down here was actually slightly challenging to get unscrewed because it's kind of like down there in like the power supply bay, so it just wasn't much space for my hand and my screwdriver, so I actually had to stick my whole arm through the power supply like little bay area down there, but I was still able to get it, so it wasn't too bad.
And I have to stick my whole arm through the whole bay, through the whole like power supply bay little area. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right. So we did that. So yeah, we got all the fans out, and basically this just kind of like should just kind of come out like this. Okay, there we go.
All right, so yeah, we was able to just take those 2 fans out and pull them out through the front.
I am not looking forward to cable management. Man, that's gonna be a pain. I see why nobody likes cable management, because this can definitely be a lot.
So that's pretty much it for the fans. These particular fans are pretty cool, but I just wanted to go with a slightly different look. I'll probably still see if I can put these 2 at the top of the case, but yeah, I just wanted to replace these for right now. You can also see right here, these are pretty much what the new fans are going to look like. And these are the ARGB fans with control. It did also come with like this little controller hub. I'm not exactly sure how to use like these little hubs, but I'm pretty sure you just like plug all the lights in there. And I mean, as long as it's all plugged into the board, the hub itself is plugged into the actual Mobo, then all the fans should be working and they should be controllable actually. These are actually, I think they're 5 or 6 pin connections, which give you like even more control. So these are some pretty, like, supposedly supposed to be some pretty good fans with pretty good ARGB. So okay, so after removing the old fans, now what we can go ahead and do is put in the new fans. So right here we have the new SATA connections for this actual for these actual fans right here. These connectors and connections are typically a little bit more like, I guess, like stable, I guess. They don't like move around too much. The little pins in the inside do not move around really, and they're just kind of like easier to deal with, smaller as well. Yeah, this particular fan right here is already plugged in because I was already testing it out actually with the power supply. So oh yeah, by the way guys, I do actually have a power supply now.
This is actually magnetic as well, so that can literally stick right there. Or it could stick anywhere, wherever you want to put it. So it kind of gives you a little bit of it's going to help with you know, what's it called, it's definitely going to help with dang, drawing a blank. It's going to help with cable management. But all I really want to do is get these fans installed. So this is actually the front of the fan. You can always tell what part is the front because it's just an open fan. The back part always has like these lines and like this little bracket thing on it. So we're gonna go ahead and install this, and I want to see if I can go ahead and install it towards the back here where this previous one was installed. So I'm hoping that it lines up good. It looks like it does, so that is a really, really good sign. Yeah, that's a really good sign. So we'll go ahead and just mount these. Set those like right there. Probably shouldn't have done that. Probably just made life harder for myself. But all right, let's go ahead and put this in here. It's like tightening up, but I just feel like it's not straight. Hold on. I don't like how this is like screwing in here, but maybe it's not meant to be super tight. I don't know. It's hard to get it in there tight. So kind of struggling with that. I just don't want to strip the screws. Don't want to strip the screws. But I don't know, we're just gonna put these in here though. These things are very hard to tighten up. Maybe I just need to use some elbow grease. Yeah, that might be, I just need to use some elbow grease. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Elbow grease is required. Alright. That's in there. Let me turn it this way so you guys can actually see. Yeah, there we go, that's better. That way you guys can actually see it. So yeah, I just had to put some elbow grease in it.
Just in case you guys did not know, the front part of the fan is basically the part that the air comes into, and then the back part is the part where the air flows out. So basically why can't I talk? Wherever you want the air to hit, you need to have the back of the fan facing that. So like wherever you want the air to actually go, have the back of the fan facing that direction. So for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have like the whole front 3 fans are gonna be bringing cool air in, and it's gonna be flowing into the case, cooling up the whole case. And then the one back fan is basically going to be pushing out hot air out of the case. And then I'm also probably gonna have 2 fans on top, also pushing out hot air out of the top, just to keep like a constant flow of air going. And yeah, essentially, whenever you're trying to identify the back part of the fan, it'll have like these the little back like brackets on it, whereas like the front part will just have the open fan blades. Just go in straight, please. I just want it to go in straight. Okay. All right, and that is the first new fan installed. Feels pretty sturdy and it looks good. I actually really like the little orange sticker. These are the what are they called? Dark Flash fans, I believe. Dark fans or Dark Flash DR11s, I think. Yeah, they actually look pretty cool to me, so very happy with the way that that looks. So now we kind of get to the hard part of installing the other 3 front fans. The first one in the back was kind of easy, but now not exactly looking forward to installing these front 3, but they shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, let's see. I am up for the challenge. Let's get it. So basically I realized that, you know what, I probably should just go ahead and run these through the back like the previous fans were, just to save me a little bit of extra time in the future when it comes to cable management. So I'm just gonna go ahead and route these little 6-pin connectors, which are actually easier because they're smaller. So I'm just gonna go ahead and route these through the back right quick. So as you can see, I already ran the first one through the back. So now we're just gonna go ahead and run the others. Let me see if I can turn this on this side. Yeah. There we go. That's better. I feel like I'm having a hard time with these. I feel like they're just not going in all the way right. I knew this was gonna be hard. I knew these were gonna be hard to screw in. Can't tell if these are not lined up right or if it just needs elbow grease. Okay, it just needed elbow grease. So that one's good. Show you guys like a better angle of this as I'm doing it. Time, guys. Okay, well, let me go ahead and close this one out. All right, so my camera actually ended up running out of space in that particular video, but as you can see, we got all 4 of the fans in there, and they look pretty amazing. Like I said, I love the ring there, and then like the black inside of the fan with the orange sticker. I just love that aesthetic a little bit more, and they should function better than the original fans too. Alright, so now to finish off this video, the last thing we're going to do is just go ahead and lay the case back down here, and we're going to go ahead and put the motherboard back into the actual case. And once we go ahead and get the motherboard back in, it should be smooth sailing from that point onward. We know that everything works, so at that point all the main stuff will pretty much be done, and we'll just be adding in like the RAM and we'll have to add the power supply and a couple of other things, like the graphics card and all that, which we'll probably do in another video. We'll do that in the next video. But yeah, we'll go ahead and finish this up here. As you can see, I was just trying to be as careful as possible with this motherboard. I didn't want it to touch too much stuff. I didn't want the possibility of getting like any static electricity or anything on any of the pins or anything like that. So I was holding it by the actual CPU fan, which was like the plastic CPU fan. And I kind of just slotted it in there very, very carefully, and made sure that the little IO little ports at the back were aligned up, and make sure that everything is good. You have to make sure that that is real good and aligned, or else when you start it up and stuff like that and get power running through it, if you're not careful with that, it can short out the motherboard. So you got to be real delicate with that part and just make sure it's set in there the way that it needs to be. So I did run into like a little minor problem when I was putting the Mobo back in this time. And basically, since the rear fan was there now, the actual wire, that little 6-pin connector wire, it was actually getting in the way. And as you can see me here, I'm trying to actually fit it and screw in like all the screws, and it just wasn't working and it just wasn't aligning. So I was like, what's going on? Like, this wasn't this hard before. So yeah, once I figured out that basically that wire was just in the way, I just kind of moved it up a little bit, and the motherboard went on ahead and fit in perfectly after that. The motherboard is officially mounted again. Everything looks good. Everything at the back looks good too. If we turn it. So as you can see here in the back, everything is lined up perfectly. And I actually forgot that I left the RAM in since I was testing it, so we don't need to reslot that or anything. To be honest, there's no way I'm actually gonna deal with that again. So yeah, the RAM is still in there. And at this point, the video is pretty much wrapped up, guys. So this is what it looks like for right now. It looks wonderful and it's really exciting. Super excited. Pretty much the last thing that needs to be done is really we'll just put in the graphics card. We'll put in the SSD little riser that I have, and we'll put the little heat sink in it. And yeah, I mean, at that point we'll pretty much be ready to rock and roll, honestly. So all right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate the support, the love and support, and feel free to subscribe and like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.